Chattanooga, Tennessee, Scenic City. Welcome to the Scenic City Spotlight with Gary Thurman. Each week, we're going to be bringing you some great interviews from business owners, athletes, musicians, political figures right here in the Tennessee Valley. If you're interested, give me a call, 423-710-9199. Again, that's 423-710-9199. Chattanooga, welcome to the first edition of Scenic City Spotlight with Gary Thurman. I am so excited to be sharing this with you guys. And we're going to be doing some great things. We're going to be interviewing business owners, athletes, musicians, political figures, all right here in the Tennessee Valley. And we're going to be talking about what they bring to Chattanooga. And it's actually going to be so much fun. And I'm excited for my first show to have my buddy Carlos Sarti. I got to say it correct.
Yeah.
With Chroma Company. And Carlos, I have to start. We just recently found out we kind of have a little family connection going on.
Yes, of course we do.
So your father-in-law is Terry Trussell.
Yes.
Terry is one of my favorite people in the world, and anybody who knows me, has watched me on TV or radio, I've talked about Terry a lot because he gave me my first opportunity as a young man to go to work and taught me a lot. But you get the pleasure of getting to see him more than I do now.
Of course. Yeah, he's my father-in-law and been a very helpful person in my life, and you know, just his drive and energy to want to be productive and teach other people about the value of work has really changed my life as well.
So the value of work he brings to the table, but what he's done across the world, just amazing to me.
Yeah, well, I got to live with him for 10 years and experience some of what we did with our ventures in South America and the different things that we did for ministry. So it was an awesome experience.
Yeah. God works in great ways. So Carlos, let's jump into you. Let's jump into Chroma Company and what it's all about. So tell everybody what exactly it is that you guys do.
Yes, of course. So we are a business that is involved with other businesses helping you in the online space with video and photography work. We noticed that there was a huge need for businesses in the area that really needed to gather their voice and put it out there, put their brand out there, and leverage social media platforms in the online space. Everybody's trying to get attention nowadays. The thing is, some people don't know how to do it. So we know how to do it, and that's what we want to do.
So what he's referring to is Gary Thurman doesn't know how to do it. That's why I've hired these guys to come in and help me do it. So it's really, really neat. I like this question. What makes you most proud of what you do?
For me, it's teaching people that it's not as hard as they think and that they can find results as long as there's a consistent plan to follow.
I love that. That's a great answer. So if you were not doing this stuff with video work and photography work, and I agree with you, it's so needed. You and I were just talking the other day about everything's going digital. Yeah. Right? Everything's going digital. And I think I already know the answer to this question. But if you were not doing this, what would you be doing?
Well, it's funny when I'm not doing this, I do what I love, which, I am a pastor of a Spanish speaking church. So I really do what I love on both sides. Now, fun fact, if I weren't doing either of those things, my dream was to become a cardiologist and become a cardiac surgeon.
Wow.
It just so happened that I went to a university for a while where I just noticed I couldn't handle blood. So, yeah, that really showed me that wasn't a career path for me.
So you're talking about the blood on the cross.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. How many people are involved in Chroma Company right now?
So right now it's 2 of us here locally, but we do have a team of other people that we outsource work to for editors as well as web designers. And we also have a crew that we pull in from different cities to help us with different video, ventures whenever we have a large production to do.
I love that. So who inspired you to start doing this?
It actually goes back to, and this is going to sound wild, a lot of people don't know the origin story. My wife and I couldn't have kids for many, many years, and we were basically told that was not going to happen. So my venture into the media world actually started way back when I was involved with churches. I noticed there was a huge opportunity to shoot short form stuff, and before that even was a thing. But over a period of time, I wanted to kind of let my creativity out, and I asked my wife, hey, do you mind if I start photographing families, specifically newborn babies?
Oh, nice.
So that was my very first business. It was a newborn photography studio, which blew up and became the top newborn photography studio in the country that we lived in. And then I noticed that the reason we grew so much was because we had a voice online.
Nice.
And we were producing stuff that nobody else was producing. And so that kind of opened up a an opportunity to say, this can also be a business. We can do this for other businesses, what I've done for mine.
Right.
And then just kind of goes on from there and opens up opportunities to work with some incredibly talented people.
So I love your answer there. It kind of relates a little bit to myself because, if it wasn't for Rhonda, I would have never made that push to go out and start my own firm.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you went to your wife and said, hey, I got an idea.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? So she inspired you to do that.
For sure.
Where did you learn your skills?
A lot of them are self-taught, but I did invest in learning from some of the best people in the world. At the beginning, you have no resources. And so what you pour yourself into is going and doing it. A lot of people talk about theory. Theory is great, but if you don't get it into practice, you're never going to do it.
Yeah.
So, I saved up quite a bit of money. I bought a lot of gear and I just started shooting and I'd test things here and I watched YouTube videos and all that stuff. Then I found out that there was this community of photographers and videographers that offered, courses in person. I really like in-person stuff. I know a lot of things are virtual nowadays, but if you're going to learn from somebody that has a skill that you want to just absorb, you have to be there in person.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent over $50,000 in education over a period of 6 years, and I was trying to update myself every year with what's going on, what's moving ahead, what's driving the narrative right now, and that's what really gave us a lot of.
I love that. And I know God's one of these answers because I know you very well, but, is there anyone that influences you or that pushes you to keep going?
I think I'm a very self-motivated person.
Yeah.
Me. And so I love to learn from other people and I like to hear from people that are in completely different scenarios than what I'm like, not necessarily in my industry, but I like to hear people that are in industries that have nothing to do with what I do, because they might find like a little crack or a little code in what we're doing and help us. So
That's right.
I read all kinds of books all the time. I'm really into right now, I'm in this really weird spectrum about reading about, mental health with leadership skills, that kind of that balance. And it's not really a specific person. It's just information.
Yeah.
I think the more you have, it'll give you an opportunity to have conversation, but it'll also give you an opportunity to invest that into what you do. So
I love that. And this is something I'd like to talk to you about a little further because I've been doing a lot of research on the mental part of retiring. And so many people just retire and do nothing.
Yeah.
And this starts disappearing
100%.
quick.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to study where I can actually write a book about it. So that's something you and I can do together.
Oh yeah, 100%. I can tell you a quick story about a man that I met in Uruguay. He was our neighbor. He was 81 years old when we met him. He had lost a leg to a surgery when he was in his 50s, so he had a wooden leg. But every day you would see him do something, like he was painting his house, or he was pressure washing, or he was cutting his grass. He would drive us nuts. Terry knows him because he was our front door neighbor where we lived for many, many years, and we were just in awe of his the amount of life he had in him at that age, given his circumstances. Now, obviously, as time went by, he started to decline.
Right.
And when we stopped seeing him, within weeks of us not seeing him out there, we knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, Terry was one of the last people to speak to him before he passed away, because of the same thing. His mind was no longer active. He wasn't involved in the community space. He was very lonely. And I think it's really important to just, sometimes when you don't know what to do, just do something.
That's right.
And I know it sounds kind of dumb, but at the same time, if you get yourself to do something,
It's pretty brilliant, actually.
you'll have an opportunity to see that life is just full of, daily things you could do.
That's right. I love it. Keep the brain working. Yeah, I think that's our whole point. Keep the brain working. So a couple more questions for you, Carlos. When someone uses your service, someone uses Chroma Company, I know I could give you a testimony right now, but what is your goal for a client of yours to say about Chroma Company and their experience about working with you all?
I want them to feel like we're listening to their needs, but we're also creating something specific for what they are looking for. What I've noticed over the last couple of years is everybody wants to find the secret formula to online content creation, but it's very different for different people.
Oh, absolutely.
And so you can't fit everything into a box. We want to help you find the answer to what your business is looking for, and also find out what your voice is and who you are on that online space. That's one of the hardest things to find
It is.
and define. And so if we can do that with you, that for me is just, we've done the best we can, and it's just very exciting.
Well, what a reward, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
What a reward for you to see, to take somebody from, level A to level O, whatever, the growth that they will have by teaming up. And I think so many people are intimidated about doing this stuff. First of all, a lot of people are intimidated about sitting in front of a camera. But the more and more you do it with someone who knows what they're doing, the more comfortable you get.
Yeah. And it's having fun. A lot of people forget to have fun when they're in front of the camera. Everybody gets so nervous, and I'm like, you're just having a conversation.
That's all it is.
You're just planning out a strategy. Don't be intimidated by the process. Embrace the process, because that's where you're going to crack the code.
Yeah, I love that. So the last question for my friend Carlos today. We're coming to you from the Guardian Investment Studios this morning, so I have to ask a financial question. So what is the best financial advice you ever got, and from who?
Okay. It was from my father-in-law.
Nice.
Don't spend money on stupid things.
Nice.
You have this short amount of time on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And everybody is given a certain amount or level of skill and blessings, if you want to call them, from God. You have to be a good steward. And we talk a lot about the value of giving and producing, but we don't talk about the value of stewardship. And stewardship is very important, because that's what really drives what your future is going to look like.
I agree. I have a saying, pay yourself first. Before you go out and buy a $10 latte, maybe think about putting that $10 in your pocket, put some interest to it over the years, and see what happens to it. I love the advice your father-in-law gave you. I wish I'd had him in my life about 30 years ago, because I spent money like crazy. But, we all learn, right? So, Carlos, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much, guys.
I hope you enjoyed it.
No, this is great, and I look forward to being here back again soon.
Oh, we're going to be back in here soon. So, our first segment of Scenic City Spotlight right here from the Guardian Investment Advisors Studio in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Hey, listen, if you guys have any questions, you can check out Carlos at chromaco.co, not .com, chromaco.co. Go check out their website. Give these guys a call, because they can help you from anything from, photo sessions to the video work to helping you set up your studio. These guys are top notch. I highly recommend them, and I really, really hope you reach out to these guys and do some work with them. So, hey, this is Gary Thurman coming to you again from the Guardian Investment Advisors Studio. Our first edition of Scenic City Spotlight. Much more to come. You guys stay tuned. Take care. Hey guys, Gary Thurman, Scenic City Spotlight. Thank you for being part of this. If you're interested in coming and having this interview with me to promote your business, give me a call, 423-710-9199. I would love to have you and represent Chattanooga, Tennessee. Again, 423-710-9199.